Hi, welcome. Welcome to a special Q&A recording of Memory House. It's one of the 50 official selection titles at the 45th Toronto International Film Festival. My name's Diana Sanchez. I'm the Senior Director of Film for TIFF. I'm thrilled to be here with João Paulo Miranda. He's here with his first feature. I want to thank our audience for joining us. As TIFF, as you know, it's been a really tough year. We're an organization still very much impacted like COVID from just like everybody else. We're all in this together. It's really been such a challenge, and it's so wonderful to be here today, to be able to talk about this incredible film and continue this tradition of sharing the best in international and world cinema and Canadian cinema with TIFF and TIFF's audiences. So today's film is eligible for the People's Choice Award, and please vote for your favorite film at tiff.net/vote. João Paulo, welcome. I loved your film. Memory House I just found it so moving, aesthetically so beautiful to watch. And I know it's your first feature. I know that you would have shown the film first at Cannes, then come to Toronto and this whole new world. Can you tell us a little bit about just the inspiration for the film and part of the journey that you took with your first feature?
Okay, thank you so much for the invitation and the opportunity from Toronto. For me, it's amazing, this experience, even not in presential, but this is very important. The film happened to me a few years ago in 2015 when I started to write it. It's about one future about Brazil, the future of Brazil, but it's like one past Brazil, because also in the same time we think about the future, but we are seeing something from the past, like the 70s dictatorship. So one moment very different, very bizarre, one moment with some kind of conservative movement coming up, and someone needs to answer, needs to fight back. So the film is talking about this.
Yeah, it's really interesting, because one of the things that you discovered through the film, I didn't know that southern Brazil was a more wealthy part, the north, that difference in economy, and also this Austrian place within the tropics. And if you can just talk a little bit about that, because I think those are things that a lot of audiences will be discovering for the first time.
Yes. And the strange point is that it's real. So it's real. We really make the film in the real city, the real place with real people. Of course, we worked with some actors, but the minority of them were actors. The other one, real people from there, from the place. And we have all this movement. It's very real that we are feeling and seeing now. One majority of part of the Brazilian society came in very conservative. We are seeing now one fight between the progressist ones and the more conservative people. And the South, it's more conservative, because it's a place that from people from Europe, from different countries like Germany, like Austria, like in this region that I shoot the film, it's a region from people that escaped from the Second World War. So people that fighted for the wrong place and needed to escape. And so in the same time, it's something strange that the people want to forget, but in the same time, we are seeing something coming back in the reality of Brazil, the feeling of the people, some fights, and all the point of the racism too. So we have all this political and social moment in the film.
So, but that I found this very interesting. So that place is real, like they really, people really still speak German. It's almost like an Austrian little village in Brazil.
Yes, it's real. It's one colony from people from Austria, And these people, they make all the parties, they make the dances, and they have the school that teach in German, and they live like that in the same way. Of course, it's something that we try to ignore, the point of the conservative point, because the people don't like to say, oh, I am conservative, I am a racist, or something like that. So, of course, the region that I shoot, they really helped us. We make the film so fine. And with all the style of the film, I think the people will see who are the bad people. I think that the people will put, we have one expression in Brazil that the people will put the mask and will say, oh, it's me in the screen. So it's this society that we are seeing in Brazil, maybe in United States, it's the same with Trump. So it's like one movement that we see now with Bolsonaro, the government in Brazil. So, of course, all this folklore and all this exotic place, of course, helped me to show this very strange reality in Brazil. So, of course, it's one kind of metaphor, but it's real. This region exists, and they have this kind of problems too. But in the same time, I'm not telling about this specific region, but about all the movement, conservative movement in Brazil, the people that not recognize herself in the Brazilian society. So it's not the Brazil that we know. So it's not this kind of tropical Brazil that we listen about or see.
Right. No, that is you do get that. That's a metaphor for a wider issue that you're discussing. I thought it was really interesting, the cafeteria, and the food, and this way of colonization through culture, through food, through every day. And if that was on purpose, if that was something that you wanted to discuss when you're talking about different kinds of colonization, there's also gastronomical colonization in the film that you see.
Yes, of course. We have all this bar, this cafeteria, this place like a far west, something violence in the same way. Only man goes there, and we have the place where they eat in the factory, all the employers. So they have the food. It's very different. The food in the south and in the north. And of course, we have other scenes that we show something about the food, because the food, it's so important in my culture that sometimes it's used like in religions too, like one way to make a ritual to some entity. So of course, the food is so important in Brazil in different ways.
It really is, and you really get that by watching those scenes. Like, I found those very impactful. You work with an incredible actor. He's a Cinema Novo actor. Can you talk about how you chose him? Just talk about how you brought him into the film.
Yes, the film it's have one connection very strong for I could say to a connection with the auteur cinema in Brazilian history. So if we think about the auteur cinema in Brazil, the biggest moment was the Cinema Novo movement in 60s, and we had one big actor that worked in that time, that is Antonio Pitanga, one black old man that made very strong films in Cinema Novo movement, worked with the biggest names in Brazil, like Glauber Rocha. He made the first theater film of Glauber Rocha, and in the same time he worked in the only film that won the Palme d'Or in Brazil. And so it's one man that we can see the marks of time. It's something that for me it's so important to making the style, the way to shoot the film, and about the actors. It's something that we can see the time, the history. Not one old man, but we can see the history of cinema, the Brazilian cinema there too. So I bring this challenge. I talked with him because he is old. It's 80 years old. He has, so it's something very impressive. And he really loved the challenge to make something so strong. And for me, one important feeling that I told him that I needed to pick the blood in his eyes. It's some expression in Brazil, like I need to find this strong part of him, that it's not forgot, it's not yes, it's not forgotten, so it's not in the past, we can bring it in this present days. So for me it was a big challenge to make something outer and have this great actor.
Yeah, he's amazing. But when you shot before, when you were making the film, did you think of him for this role? Because your film is, I mean, it's called Memory House. It is so much about memory, history, bringing back that history into the present. Was that so? Yeah, was he always your choice for this role?
Yes. Since the beginning, I wrote thinking about him. Of course, I didn't told to the producer because I thought that they will say that I was crazy because he's so old, and so when I told to them, everyone was really surprised. And in the same way, in the script, I didn't describe my character like a black man. I just said that was one old Brazilian man from the north, from inside Brazil, that brings a lot of history in the skin. So, and then after I said, no, I think about Antônio Pitanga, it's a black man, and he's old. So, of course, they said, oh, you need to talk with him to see if he have all this physical point of view good to work and make this film. Yeah. So for me, Diana, it's very important to make the risk, to make something that the people not imagined before as like a challenge. So I like to be very close the risk. When the people said to me, oh, it's like impossible, 8-old black man to be the protagonist of one film, that it's so physical, that we don't have a lot of dialogues. It's very, very, very few. So they don't speak. It's like very brute stones, that it's hiding a lot of history and memories inside it, inside the house, the elements, and the character. So it was really important for me.
Yeah, he's really amazing. He really does like just the physicality of the role, the intensity. He really, his presence on screen is so powerful, and so I think Antonio was a wonderful choice for that role. One of the things I also want to ask you about was the house. Obviously, the film is called Memory House, and the house. He's discovering all these artifacts. Can you tell us about what the house is to you, or why having the house there was important?
Yes, the house represents all his history, all his past, but not only his past specifically, but a lot of the generation before, and a lot about the Brazilian history too. So it's about the colonization in Brazil too. So in the same time, we can think that this house, it's a real house. It's a real house that exists. We didn't build it for the film. It's real, and is one house that was built by Nazi policies that came from Brazil. So of course we can feel something there. So I want to bring what Bresson would say, that it's bring the invisible to visible. For me, it's very important to the people see something that is not specific in the image. The people will feel this, these elements that's coming up. So we have the story of his past, his parents, the other generations, and the past of all the North and the Brazilian from Africa too, and from different countries too. So we have a lot of meaning there. Of course, indirectly to the character, he discovered elements from his past, the parents, but after it's something so much more far.
No, it is. It is. It's a really wonderful film, João. It's been so incredible to see that film, because even in this year of COVID, it's in the Cannes list we're having in Toronto, and then you'll be going to San Sebastian and sharing the film in San Sebastian too. So it's quite a journey. And we thank you so much for joining us virtually and for sharing the film with us. And I really look forward to, I hope we get to meet in person sometime soon and talk more, because I'm really excited about this film and to see your future projects.
Thank you so much, Diana. Yes, it's my pleasure.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.